Teacher gave me detention for yawning, so I made sure his coffee maker only dispensed decaf for a month. So this happened during my junior year with Mr. Henderson, who was probably the most uptight teacher at our school. The guy ran his classroom like it was military boot camp or something. He had all these ridiculous rules posted on the wall, like no talking without raising your hand first, sit up straight at all times, and absolutely no signs of being tired or bored. I'd been up until 3 in the morning working on this massive history project that was due in another class, so I was basically a zombie walking into his first period English class. I'm sitting there trying to focus on his lecture about some boring Shakespeare play when I felt this huge yawn coming on. I tried to fight it, I really did, but you know how it is when you're exhausted. So I yawned. Not even a loud one, just a regular tired person yawn with my hand covering my mouth and everything. Henderson stopped mid-sentence and gave me this death stare. He walked over to my desk and said in this super condescending voice, "Miss Roberts, are we keeping you awake? Perhaps my class is too boring for someone of your caliber?" The whole class went silent. I mumbled an apology and told him I was just tired from working on projects, but this guy wasn't having it. He said yawning in his class was disrespectful and showed a complete lack of interest in learning. Then he gave me detention for the rest of the week. I was so pissed. Like, who gives detention for yawning? But Henderson wasn't done. During detention, he made me write a 2-page essay about the importance of showing respect in the classroom and how yawning disrupts the learning environment. 2 pages about yawning. That's when I decided this guy needed to learn what tired really felt like. See, Henderson was one of those teachers who was always bragging about how he got to school at 6 in the morning every day to prep. He'd constantly mention how he needed his coffee to function and how he couldn't teach without his morning caffeine fix. I knew he had this fancy single-serve coffee maker in his classroom that he was super proud of. He'd bring in these expensive coffee pods and make himself fresh cups throughout the day. The machine was one of those ones where you pop in a little cup thing and it brews individual servings. So here's what I did. My older sister worked at a coffee shop and she helped me get a bunch of decaf pods that looked exactly like the regular ones Henderson used. Every morning for the next month, I'd get to school early and sneak into his classroom before he arrived. I'd swap out all his regular coffee pods with the decaf ones and take the regular ones with me. The beauty of it was that decaf still tastes like coffee, so he had no idea what was happening. He was just drinking what he thought was regular coffee but getting 0 caffeine. And let me tell you, watching this play out was better than any Netflix show. By the end of the first week, Henderson was already looking rough. He'd be dragging himself around the classroom, yawning constantly during his own lectures. The irony was incredible. He'd catch himself yawning and get this confused look on his face like he couldn't figure out why he was so tired. Week 2 was even better. He started making mistakes during class, forgetting what he was talking about mid-sentence, and getting snappy with students over the tiniest things. One day he actually fell asleep at his desk during our lunch period. Kids were taking pictures and everything. By week 3, Henderson was a complete mess. He was showing up to class with bags under his eyes, wearing the same shirt 2 days in a row, and he even nodded off during parent-teacher conferences. I heard from kids in his other classes that he was constantly complaining about not being able to sleep at night and feeling exhausted all the time. The best part was when he started bringing in energy drinks and those 5-hour energy shots, chugging them between classes. He even asked the school nurse if there might be something wrong with him because his regular coffee wasn't helping anymore. She told him it might be stress and suggested he try getting more sleep. After exactly 1 month, I stopped swapping his coffee pods. I figured he'd learned his lesson about being tired in class. Within a few days, Henderson was back to his normal energetic self, but something had changed. He never mentioned the whole coffee situation, but he definitely stopped being such a hard ass about students showing signs of tiredness.